In this video, I'm talking about autism and depression, and specifically some secret techniques to help improve your mental health so it takes you from being super depressed and always feeling like you're never going to get out of that to being very, very in control of it and potentially feeling better. Coming up. Hey guys, welcome back to the Aspie world. My name is Dan and I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia. I make weekly videos about mental health and autism. So if you're new around here and you want to help me change the world, please click that subscribe button, make a difference today, smash it, and let's get on with this video. Oh, if you're watching over on Facebook, make sure to give the page a like and a follow to see daily videos from me. Okay guys, in this video I'm talking about specific strategies I've used to get myself out of depressive states that I don't think I've seen anybody use before. Some of them in particularly I've never ever heard anyone use, but I know that they're effective because I've used them. Okay, so before I get into the video, I'd just like to read out a question that you guys have asked me over on my Instagram account. So if you want a chance of me reading out your question and answering it on a video just like this, make sure to head over to my Instagram account, give me a follow and turn the notifications on so you're notified when I ask you to ask me questions and then potentially be featured in a video just like this. Okay, so this question is from Bliss1076 and they said, did you have speech problems when younger, as have a son who we think has Asperger's? Okay, so I had more like a selective mutism, or overly shy as my parents used to call it back then. So selective mutism, yes. Speech issues, I had a stutter or a stammer, but I kind of grew out of that a little bit because I've learned to control that. But I would say that definitely is a characteristic. So, when you're going through the assessment process, mention this to the doctors or the practitioners who are actually taking the assessment. Okay, guys. This is my video on autism and depression. So a lot of people who are on the autism spectrum do come across depression quite often. It's actually quite common to have a depression diagnosis comorbidly with autism. I have surely experienced depression a few times. It's not good. Recently, I went through a really bad depressive state for about 2 or 3 weeks. It was horrendous. One of the worst ones I've had actually in a long time. And so because of that, it made me compelled to want to do this video. So I want to talk about the first thing that I did to kind of overcome this, because what I tried to do is rock myself out of it. I've tried medication before and medication wasn't as effective for me because it just made me feel a bit worse. So I wanted to do something on my own, quite independent. Like, could I do this? So I did this thing on my own, and these are my techniques and they actually do work. So the first one I want to talk about is taking time in something new. I know this sounds bizarre, but a lot of people tell you to, like, oh, you need to relax, take a step back. Now, if you're left to your own devices and you're feeling depressed, you're sitting there alone with thoughts, and then your thoughts are going to manifest and they're going to build up on each other, and then the thoughts are going to talk to each other, and they're going to become this evil ball inside your head. That's not going to work. So taking time for yourself, just sitting there, is going to make it worse in my experience. So this is what I think to do. Take time, but in something new. So forget everything you know. Like for me, okay, let's put it in perspective. I didn't know anything about the app TikTok, okay? And I love growing social media businesses and I love growing social media. And so one of the things I wanted to do was TikTok eventually. So I was feeling super depressed and I was like, okay, why don't I focus in on TikTok? And by doing that, focusing on putting videos on TikTok and reaching out to people on TikTok and just basically playing around with the app and seeing how I could grow it and seeing how it works, that's going to take me away from the things that were making me feel depressed and giving me new light on focus. And by doing that, it rocked me out of a one-track mind of, oh my goodness, feeling sorry for myself and things getting worse. And by doing that, the focus shift, it was amazing. I can't recommend it enough. It's very, very, very effective. So taking time in something new is going to transfer your focus on something which is going to be positive, because something new is always positive because you're in control of that. It's not like you're going to pick something new which can be highly destructive. You want to pick something new that's going to be very, very positive. And this could be anything. It could be like a hobby. It could be a new TV show that you want to get into. It could be absolutely anything, but just bear that in mind. Something new that you've never done before, but you're very interested in. Okay, so the next one is focusing on yourself, self-development and happiness. What does this mean? So a lot of the time, depression comes from the fact that we have exterior sources that are putting pressure and negative pressure input into our systems. So you are a system and everything else is exterior. And what I mean by that is not your like life, not like the things that make you happy, like, you know, maybe your loved ones or your children or your parents or your friends or whoever it is, not those people. The things outside of like work or negative impact in your profession somewhere, or negative impact in academia, or like a friend maybe passing away. All those things are exterior to that little kind of like circle unit of happiness that surrounds what you're doing. So taking time for yourself is like this. It's a gratitude list. And I did this very, very simply. I decided that first thing in the morning, as soon as I woke up, I would write a gratitude list out, the things that I'm actually thankful for, because I had 100 million things that were making me depressed and that I was not thankful for. But I really chose the time to sit down and think about it, and something magical happened. When I sat down and thought to myself, what am I grateful for? And the things that, like, I'm grateful for the ability to experience life and things like that, and I'm grateful for my son, and I'm grateful for my job, and I'm grateful for my house, and I'm all grateful for all those things. When I started putting down the things I was grateful for, it actually ingested happiness into my life, and that happiness through gratitude gave me some peace, a respite, if you will, and that respite kind of gave me this almost a chance to breathe, and that chance to breathe then set me on a nicer path. I was actually planning to do that for a whole week, doing every day, waking up and doing a new gratitude list, but the first one was so overpowering that I didn't need to do the others. It did its job instantly. So if you're like me and you're feeling like that way, why not try wake up and create a gratitude list for the things that you are focusing on within you, like the things that are making you happy, the idea of just breathing, sunshine, people you love, experiences, getting close to people, those things that you should always be grateful for. Make a list, because that list then becomes empowering because you see it, and that is so much impact. Okay, the next thing here is something that I'm very strong on, and I actually lack this a lot when I'm depressed, or if I'm in a depressive state, I lack this. Something that I'm really big on is eating correctly, eating the right foods, drinking the right things, hydration. A lot of people do this when they become depressed. They'll just either not eat anything at all and become really, really thin and malnourished, or they'll just eat the wrong things and that might harm your body, like, you know, like fast food and junk food and like candies and sweets and all that kind of stuff. So what you want to do actually is focus in on eating good foods. There are happy foods. There are good, like fresh fruit and vegetables, you know, things like fresh fruit and vegetables or whole foods. Those things, even cooking a meal from scratch, those things are going to benefit your body, and whatever benefits your body benefits your mind, and whatever benefits the mind benefits the soul. And that is a very clear path to healing and feeling better quickly. I didn't realize the importance of this, and I went off like eating fresh fruit and stuff, and when I was going through my last depressive state, I was like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? Just eating like pizza and like crisps and stuff. And so then I was already a vegetarian, but then I decided to adopt a vegan lifestyle, which cut out like cheese and stuff. So it made me more restricted to junk foods, because, you know, cheese and milk, they're in a lot of like kind of junk foods that are not as good for you. And by doing that, again, it helped clear my body and mind to then get me back in track, and it kind of almost realigned me with the knowing of self, and I wasn't so depressed from that. It was profoundly amazing. I found super high benefit from just changing my diet, only ever so slightly, but the impact was profound. So if you're feeling like me in that situation, or you know that you're eating bad foods, why not do a challenge with yourself, saying, okay, well, I'm not going to eat any meat, or I'm not going to eat any like you know, potato chips or fries or whatever, and see how you can control that input of negative foods on your body. It'd be amazing. I'd love to know the results. So please, guys, if you have any tips, or if you've already tried this method, leave me a comment in the comment section below, because I read and respond to every single one, and I'd love to have that dialogue with you. Okay, the next one is something that I want to break down. There's this myth that like you have to exercise. If you're depressed, go out and exercise, because it's going to release endorphin, put oxygen around your body, and make you feel awesome. Okay, that is true. But let me ask you this question. When you're feeling depressed, like you're the lowest point in your entire life, do you really feel like getting your gym gear on and hitting those weights? I don't think so. So what you need to do is something very simple. And I've done this. I've been in both situations. I've tried to force myself to go to the gym, and I couldn't even pick my legs up off the floor. That's how depressed I was. But then I tried something different. I just went out for a walk. And it was 5 minutes. It was no pressure. Just went out for a 5-minute walk, and then I increased it. Like the day after, I went out for a 10-minute walk, then a 15-minute walk, then a 20-minute walk, then an hour walk. Exercise does help. Fresh air is amazing because it's new, it's different, it's experiencing life in real time. It's not sitting in four walls watching a TV screen, which can be also therapeutic, but at the end of the day, you want something that's tangibly changing for your life. And walking did that for me, and I loved it. You know, found so much healing from just going out for a walk. And I do live by the sea, so I'm very blessed. But just going out for a walk and seeing different people do different things and seeing like just life going on, it helps you realize where you are and it centers you in reality. Guys, if you are enjoying this video, why not share some love? Likes equal love, so why not give this video a like, give it a thumbs up on the little button down below. It really helps me out and it helps share the love. And I love that whole community aspect. And so if you want to be part of this community and give this video a like, share some love, be super awesome. Okay, my last tip here, my last strategy technique here is a very simple one. It's adopted from Buddhism, it's used in mindfulness, but it's a very simple technique. This is the most basic raw version of it, and this is all you need. It's very, very good, and it's profoundly impactful when you use it correctly. What you want to do is remove negative thought with positive ideas. Okay, so if you're feeling really negative and feeling like, oh, you know, this is happening and that's happening, and you know, that spiral of like depressive states and depressive thoughts, if you're having those thoughts and when they hit, think about this. And it's training, it's not going to go instantly. You just need to keep doing this, okay? And try it, and after about 5 to 10 times, it'll be amazing. When you're feeling negative thoughts and negative thoughts instantly hit your brain, think of a positive idea, which means like, think about something like, how could you raise money for charity? How could you help somebody in need? How could you do something that's selfless? How could you raise more money for the food bank? How could you help people who are homeless? Those things, those thoughts, those positive plans of changing the world will align your mind with something so greater than the negative rot that is eating your mind that you don't need and it should never be there. But it's just caused by like existential kind of realities and third parties that you just want to take control back. And taking control back is by inputting positive ideas into your life. That in itself is so amazing. It's so humbling, and you're going to feel so much better afterwards. I swear, if you just did that, just for a week, you'd feel so much better. And I love it. You know, like I think that these tips can help people in such a great way. And if you agree that these tips can help people, why not share this video on your Facebook page? Or why not share this video on your Instagram page or Twitter page? Because sharing is caring, and I'm all about caring for people. And if you want to help me care for people, please share this video. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.